Hello again, everyone. This is the second of 3 unboxings of your toy box. If you missed the first video, long story short, I just didn't have the time to shoot this video or these videos, so I ended up with 3 your toy boxes sitting waiting to be opened. So this is the second one. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check out the first video and you haven't already. And there'll be one more after this, and I'll have a link for that as well down in the description. But let's open this one up. I guess we'll... I was just having a thought as I finished up the last video. That'd be kind of funny to... Because once in a blue moon you'll end up with a duplicate item. It'd be kind of funny to get that right away, because I'll definitely know, seeing as I've got the items I just opened sitting right beside me. It'll be kind of funny to see if I got any duplicate items, but it's not the end of the world if you do. It's pretty few and far between, and I mean, the guy who puts these together, Trevor Taylor, I'm sure he does his best to give you different items every month, but I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people that are purchasing this box from him, and you can only keep track of so many people, I guess, right? So did I get that open? Okay, there we go. So we got the bubble wrap. Out of the 3 boxes, this one was kind of in the middle for weight. There was something you could, usually when there's a video game, you can feel it sliding around on the bottom. So I think there's a video game in here, but I could be way off. It's always really hard to tell what's inside these boxes. So first item in a baggie here, we have a Crash Dummy. This is spare tire. It's a funny story with this Crash Dummy. I didn't grow up with this, and in the last year I ended up buying it. And I'm pretty sure he sent me one of these in a box. Kind of ironic, I just mentioned getting duplicate items, but he just sent me this, or he'd sent me this in, I don't know, it might have been box 4 or 5, something in that range. And then I bought a lot of Crash Dummies, and he came in it again, and right afterwards a friend gave me some of their old Crash Dummies, and I had them again. So I think this is the 5th spare tire I've gotten this year, which is funny because for all the years I was a big fan of Crash Dummies, I never had this figure, and now I have a bunch of them. So the whole gimmick with him is his eyes pop out. If you don't know anything about Crash Dummies, they were a franchise in the early 90s. They had a bunch of figures. Most of them, if you hit the button in the middle, their arms and legs would pop off and their head would come off. This one's just his eyes and ears bulge out, and tongue actually. Kind of morbid, but funny little character. Let's see if he'll stand on his own. I'm sure I'll knock him over before the end of the video. Always happy to get Crash Dummies. That's not an item you can pick on the list. I actually just requested that through email with Trevor, just because it was one other thing he could look out for me. I'm sure there's not many people that ask for Crash Dummies, so I figured if he found any, that'd be awesome. Next up, we've got just some blocks from the Mario series. You can see a shell under there and the fire flower. Let's open that up. Seems to be, I guess, just 2 separate blocks, and you can stack them, I'm assuming, however you want. Or maybe they don't stack. Let's see if I can... No, I guess they don't stack. They're just 2 separate items, but I guess Trevor counts that as 1 item, which is cool. You get 7 to 10 items in this box. I've said it before in other videos, and the last unboxing I just did will verify that as well. I'm pretty sure you basically get 8 items in these boxes. Watch me be wrong, and I end up with 7 or 9 or something in this box. That'd be funny, but anyways, that's really cool. I don't know what that's from, but I really like that. Wow, this this might be the best item I've ever received in a Your Toy box. That's very surprising. Actually, it's in reach, and I'll grab it in a second. This is Crash Bandicoot. I want to say Crash Bandicoot 2 is probably my favorite video game of all time. It's really tough to say. There's so many awesome video games I've played, and so many consoles I've played them on. So to pick a PS1 game might be tough, seeing as like NES is probably my favorite console. But no, this is awesome. I don't know what this is from. He looks like he attached to something at some point. He's a really short, kind of stumpy Crash Bandicoot. And before I got him, this was another Crash Bandicoot item I got from Your Toy box. This is just a Jeep. Again, this didn't have any markings on it either, so I didn't know what franchise that was from, but this is really awesome. This is, again, just like Crash Dummies, I put down, you can pick video game toys on the list, but I specifically said, like, if you can find anything Crash Bandicoot or even Spyro the Dragon, any toys from that era, that'd be awesome. Just because I didn't really even know too much about video game toys back in the early to late 90s, so I was never buying any, so I missed out on all these awesome toys like this. So really, really happy to get that. Like I said, possibly my favorite toy I've pulled out of Your Toy box. Next up, wow, that's a really awesome figure too. This is shaping up to be one of my favorite boxes. This is I'll open it up. This is a Crash Dummy. It's kind of like a stretchy, kind of like a Gumby figure. So his arm, like, everything kind of bends. It's all rubbery. These are pretty old. Let's see, 1992. So that's about in the middle of the Crash Dummy run. I guess his arm just stay out like that. I don't know what he's supposed to be doing with his arm out like that, but that's really cool. I think it was just him and one other character named Spin that they made these of, and I've never come across them. You'll come across these figures once in a blue moon, but these I've never seen ever in person, so that's really, really cool to have that finally. I'm just going to lay him down because he doesn't really stand as well on his own. I don't want to knock him over. Next up, this is a, oh, it actually says rabbit figure. It's from Rayman. I don't know if it's from Rayman Raving Rabbids or the game on its own, Raving Rabbids. I got in my 10th Your Toy box, the Colossal box, I got a plush of one of these characters. I don't know really anything about, I'll just show you the markings on the foot. I don't really know anything about these. This almost seems to be, if I had to guess, one of the, like a blind box figure, just based on how it looks. Not really a big fan of Raving Rabbids or, honestly, Rayman either. I haven't played Rayman to know, so nor have I played Raving Rabbids. Just from the look and style, I wasn't sure it was right for me, but still a video game related item, so I'm not going to complain whatsoever about that. That's cool. Next up, wow. This is the best box ever. Wow, this is a extremely, as far as I know, seeing as you find very little about this guy. He actually has a right head, which is amazing. This is Dash, extremely rare Crash Dummy figure. I know that these really have no meaning to most of you people watching, but I was pretty certain I would never see this figure. There's another one with glasses. I mean, who knows? Maybe if I got this one, Trevor might hook me up again. But that is awesome. Like, words can't describe how happy I am right now. Just because you got Crash Bandicoot, got Crash Dummies. I am loving this box. And there's still, let me see, 2 items. No video game, so I was completely wrong. What else do we have here? Very tiny, looks to be a Nidorino. Oh, it's a Rhyhorn. Oh, it's a pink Rhyhorn. Okay, kind of a funny little figure here. Totally looks like Nidorino just based on the color and the horn, but yeah, that's Rhyhorn. This is, looks like it could be from a playset if it was gray, but based on the color, it's probably a Chinese knockoff. Sorry, it's having a little trouble focusing. Probably a Chinese knockoff. I'm not too concerned about that though. And let's see what the last item is. Little item as well. This is a Koopa. I'm pretty sure I've pulled a Koopa in one of the older boxes. I want to say in the early days of me opening Your Toy Box. So again, it's another duplicate item, but that's okay. It's a Mario figure. Not the end of the world. It's kind of funny. I'm ecstatic about some of these items, and then at the same time, maybe I can't call this my favorite box just because there are a few items that are a little more subpar. Again, like that's a duplicate item from Your Toy Box. That one is, and I don't know anything about Raving Rabbids, and pretty sure that's a Chinese knockoff. But these are really cool, and these are in my top 5 items I've pulled out of this box for sure. And this is really awesome too. Like, so I've got a love-hate relationship with this box to some extent, but it still might be my favorite box of all time, just because of those items that I'm really digging right now. So anyways, that's my I guess this will be 14th Your Toy Box, and stay tuned for the 15th. If you don't get automatically linked to the video, I'll have a link down in the description below, and please leave a comment on this video. Let me know what you think of this box. I'm sure there are very few people who are into Crash Dummies, but a lot of people know who Crash Bandicoot is, and you might have some fans of Raving Rabbids as well. So yeah, let me know what you thought of the box, and just if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below and I'll answer those too. So yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good one.